Hello, my name is Wayne Hilborn. I'm an above average teacher of manifesting and magic, which a lot of you may not even believe in. But this is magic lesson number 1. Magic is real. Now, I'm going to explain to you why magic is real, and then I'm going to explain to you how to see that for yourself. I'm not really sure what my intentions are with these videos as far as teaching or what my intentions are, but I do know that I'm going to do at least 2 videos on magic, lessons 1 and 2, that I'm going to post. Anyways, the reason that magic is real is because we reside in Hermetic principle numero uno. The universe is mental, the all is mind. There is no such thing as time. The reason that death and dying is safe is because your memories are forever stored as simultaneous actual events. So your first kiss is simultaneous to 1,000,000,001 years from tomorrow. So your brain is not required for memory. Time is an illusion. You can learn these things. Now, the way to learn these things, and I just gave you a viable reason, not using any religious dogma at all, for why you live forever. So the reason you live forever and why dying is safe is because your memories are forever and ever stored as simultaneous first kisses, etc. Now, we live in what amounts to a common dream. Expectations, faith runs the caboodle, causes all quantum collapses even into the perceived past. The past constantly changes to bring us everything that we expect. We could say that you created the life of the chicken so you could have it for supper that night. Whatever the case may be, you're changing the past with every moment. It just is, you're changing the future and the past. It sprouts from the now. Everything is but you have a simultaneousness to forever based on this now. So magic is simply energy following all thoughts. Repetition is the most obvious hack to focus. So think of stuff and pay attention. Think of stuff and pay attention. Think of, if you paint a fence all day, every sitcom you watch that evening will have fence painting as a theme. Repetition is the most obvious hack to focus. Think of something on repeat, like Bigfoot, 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 or Superman, 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 whatever. Think of something on repeat, and then turn on a random movie from like 10 years ago or something, and that topic will be profoundly embedded. Choose your own topic and do your own repetition and put in the work. You need to manifest enough that you can learn that many things that we manifest seem like they were on their way to us before we even gave intentions. Because that's exactly what happens. If you manifest a parking space or a song on the radio, how did that happen? How without changing the past? How could that happen? You're pulling into a parking space and you're like, I have a great parking space, I have a great parking space, I have a great parking space, and you're happy and playful like a child. Then the universe will make a shopper 20 minutes before remember that she's late for her Pilates, and she'll run out and pull out just as your start. So your intentions in the present basically alter her 20 minutes ago. So this is energy following all thoughts, and it sort of buys into the whole what is free will if people can be controlled so easily by expectations. And we reside in a world that is mental. The universe is mental. The all is mind. And in a mental universe, then everything that we've always dreamt possible, like aliens and stuff like that, we think, oh, that may be possible. You know, it could be possible. I've seen Star Trek and stuff. It could be possible. Well, if we're living in a giant imagination, or Hermetic principle numero uno, which is rational and reasonable, then everything that we thought of as possible would now become probable. Because we're living in a giant imagination. And what kind of cheap-ass giant imagination would we be living in if we didn't have aliens and stuff? We're trying to make foreverness more interesting through this earth-air Loka. We're lifetime to lifetime we grow. You're immortal changelings, each and every one of you, because you personally had to evolve. We all personally evolve. You the viewer, were a plant to learn how to breathe. You, the viewer, were a fishy that waggled its butt to learn how to move. You, the viewer, were a crab to learn opposable thumbs. You learn from lifetime to lifetime how to work this earth air bodies and stuff like that. But you gotta to be the proper changeling. You have to get in there and experience both sexes each time. So if you lived your life as a bear or a fish or whatever, you had to be a boy bear and you had to be a girl bear. You had to change it up. Things happen from lifetime to lifetime, and it's all very simple. It's like there's no difference between dream toast in what you may dream of in a dream kitchen, and toast in what you may have in a real kitchen. There's no difference. If anyone watches any of my other videos, they'll see that I reference some science experiments and stuff like that. I talk about delayed choice quantum eraser, the fact that the man that coined the term black hole and who helped build the atomic bomb, John Archibald Wheeler, and his student Richard Feynman argued that an electron is going forward in time and a positron is the same electron going backwards in time. There's a video where John Archibald Wheeler is saying, well, the standard thing is positrons supposed to be going this way, electrons, they go up here and they annihilate. But he says, another alternative way to look at it is the electrons goes this way in time up to here, and then it turns around and comes back as a positron. Now, I'm not making that up. Time is legit not real. And that is the key to everything. And that is why manifesting and magic work. Because logically the past doesn't exist. So for it to change, that's like changing the future. There's no such thing as time. Nothing and everything has a consciousness. Because, like I said, your consciousness doesn't need a brain for memory because of the simultaneous. That would be brain engrams have never been found. Do not think. A lot of you might think that you've been told that there's memory engrams in the brain and stuff like that. No, that's all rubbish. Nobody has ever proven anything like that. So don't think that there's memory stored in the brain. You don't store any license plate numbers in a brain. You're just looking at every license plate number simultaneously to exactly now. So if you remember anything, it's like you're actually viewing that point in perceived time, which doesn't exist. So because of this lack of time, then everything exists simultaneously to forever. So your toaster, void of brain, is aware, memory equals consciousness, that it is simultaneously at the factory. Your toaster knows that it is somewhere else. It doesn't have eyes, nose. It's like a baby. It's starting it from our perspective. It's like starting its linear time personification. To speak of us, we almost have to look at ourselves as personifications in a literary sense, because that's how the imagination works, and a giant imagination works like that. Like, I know that we'll be able to teleport objects from planet to planet just because we can imagine it so. And again, what kind of cheap ass universe would we be living in if we couldn't do teleportation and stuff like that eventually? Like this is our universe will mold itself and change the past and invent new elements if we need to make it all fit and work and do what we want and play this virtual game. But you're an immortal changeling. Lifetime to lifetime you grow and you're not stopped evolving. What are you going to be in another 1,000 lifetimes? You're going to get up to your highest godly self simultaneously to yesterday. You are God simultaneously to yesterday. Now, the nature of thoughts isn't what most people think. Thoughts do not exist inside of our minds. They don't exist inside of our heads. Every word in this sentence is conscious. I know that might be hard for some of you to wrap your heads around. You'll be like, oh no, my thoughts are my own and whatever. No, every thought is conscious. Your toaster, void of brain, due to the simultaneous of time, doesn't need a brain for memory. We don't need brains for consciousness because brains don't hold memory. We just panpsychically attune to the actual event. And panpsychically attune, a lot of philosophers will be like, oh, panpsychic attunement, that's like micro level, whatever. No, it's I'm telling you to manifest things and pay attention. Get that grimoire going. Everything that and if you've already manifested a lot of things in your life, then go ahead and analyze when you gave intent and when that object was on their way to you. Like if you start manifesting for a pet or something, you'll find that a neighbor gives you a dog or something a week later, but like they had that dog for like a month and then they decided they didn't want it or something, so they give it to you, that sort of thing. Manifesting like that, and yet, or your cousin sells you the car of your dreams or whatever for a greatly reduced price because he bought it and he wants you to have it, whatever. Gives you a good deal on it. But the universe molds itself to our expectations. Worry is the only cause of evil in a mental universe. Worry. And there's people that probably hear me talking when I say that, and they think, oh, well, what about the person going around stabbing or going around running, or aren't they doing evil? No, because those things are all caused by the worrying grandmothers. Every time a child is 10 minutes late for supper, some grandmothers will sit there and visualize their grandchildren lying in the ditch bleeding. Now, in a mental universe, they're creating that reality. They're visualizing their own grandchildren lying in the ditch, covered in blood. Now, the universe is mental, and it's like, your wish is my command. And like a genie, it hands their children to them, bloodied, in the ditch. Mind you, the children live forever because they're changeling immortals like the rest of us. Children aren't really children. Children are like, they've lived thousands of lifetimes. Talk to children. Ask them what they were before. It's not a silly question. And you should talk to yourself because you're a psychic gestalt after all these years. You're not even... Our eyes, nose, ears, mouth, everything, all our attachments, they're outside of our consciousness. Like our consciousness is basically resonance and memory. That's it. All the other stuff, our hands, fingers, these are all external thought forms that we interact with and work with and whatnots. There are sort of friends. So you'd be insane not to talk to yourself and write to yourself. I am a good video that teaches magic. The I am, the becoming of, is the key to much basic magic. I am this, I am that. I'm guided by universal knowledge and wisdom. I am guided by universal knowledge and wisdom. I am. I am. You have to become what you want. Now, magic needs to be done. You need to learn magic by doing. So one experiment that you should do is the rice love-hate experiment. That's where you get 2 baggies of rice or 2 Tupperware containers, whatever. Put them in. Put the word love on one and the word hate on another, and then for at least 1 minute each day, praise the love rice. Say, "Oh, I love you, pretty love rice." And then for the hate rice, say, "Oh, I hate you, ugly rice. Oh, you're so disgusting and yucky." And then whatever you say that to you say that to the 2 things of rice. And you need to do that. If you're listening to me and you want to learn what I teach, then please follow the steps, because this is that's a really important lesson, because after a while, the love rice will stay fresh and edible, and the hate rice will grow mold and look disgusting. And it's in a sealed container. Maybe retrocausality made one get more bacteria than the other, but that's retrocausality, and that's from your intentions in the now. So it doesn't matter. You're getting the proof that you need. You can see that your mind is affecting food through a Tupperware container or baggie, or from another side of the room. You're not even touching it. So your mind is affecting the health of rice. Now, why isn't that an important thing to know? Why wouldn't you want to know that? So heal the rice from across the room and learn your power. Learn the power of you. Now that's one simple thing. Now, when I was young, this is one of the things I did, and it convinced me of telepathy and stuff like that. I had learned, but I followed author Harold Sherman, blessed author from the 20th century. But Harold Sherman he wrote a book called How to Make ESP Work for You, which I loved, and I have it online right now. But in that book, he outlined a method where he did a repetitive message to a distant friend for 1 hour. And so I thought I'd try that. I'm like, okay. So put your name, say their name, say so-and-so, and then say your name, and then say, "Misses you very much, get in touch," for 1 hour. Say that over and over to your friend. Say their name, your name, "Misses you very much, get in touch," for 1 hour. This is the second magic or miracle that I'm asking you to try if you want to learn what I teach. So the second step would be to repeat that message to a distant friend. And if they don't call you the next day, then it failed. But if they call you the next day, then you're onto something. But you'll feel when messages go through. You can feel it in your breath. When you're breathing in, you're like, oh, you can feel the nervousness or whatever. It's like you can feel, it's like there's like if you feel like a nervousness in your chest, then that means don't do whatever it is. Like if you get that feeling before you go to a meeting or before you get in a plane or something, then like just go. Because pushback, the concept pushback, I haven't taught yet. I'm in lesson 1. I'm trying to teach you that magic is real and why. And the reason it is real is because we feel that we're real. Our mommies told us that we're real. So we assume that our mommies weren't dumbasses. We assume that Rene Descartes had a clue when he said that he thinks, therefore he is, or whatever. No, you're just basically, you're living the dream. We're all living in what amounts to a common dream. So there's no difference between a dream at night and a dream that you're having now, except for there's more people. As a thought experiment, if you're skeptical, imagine what a mental universe would look like. Imagine yourself in a nocturnal dream at night. You're in a nocturnal dream at night. You have a dream mom. Your dream mom says, "Oh yeah, you're real." You're pinching yourself, and you're like, "I can't be in a dream because I keep pinching myself, and I'm not waking up." So like, but then you got a friend there, and they're all. So you're in a common dream. So how would that work? Like, what if you go in a dream and you make your perfect little dream house and you white picket fence and everything like that, but then like 2 more people come in your dream and they expect your fence to be orange or some crazy thing because they have a little orange town going on or whatever, and they expect your fence to be painted orange. But like, it's your dream, so why do you have to paint it orange now to satisfy them? Because it's not your dream alone. Your dream, you share the dream. So it's the expectations of everybody that dictate the color of the picket fences. It's a combination of everybody that wins the football match. It's a mental universe, and that's very viable. We're forever creatures. We're just trying to have fun, Earth Air. And the middle way, the Tao middle way, is probably the best, because with every desire comes an attached worry. And again, worry is the only cause of evil. It's all, energy follows all thoughts. It's not the other way around. So, all the bad stuff, you cause it by worry. And I know in a logical universe you need to have worry. So it's like, that's the catch-22, is we sin just by being. And there's the truth that Jesus was trying to teach or whatever. We sin by being. There is like a sin just by being, because we're personified. Every decision personifies us away from the all or brings us closer to the all. And we can't really, once you're personified away from the group consciousness, then you can't go back. You can never ever lose your perceived linear timeline, because you'll always be you. You will always have the perceived linear history that makes your resonance. And all you are in the end is like resonance. It'd be like some little quantum resonance thing and you're changing and fluctuating and everything too. But it's all based on expectations. We live in a field of expectations. We don't live in the Einstein world. But even Einstein taught the twin paradox, and that one twin going off into space would return much younger than his twin here. So, like, we know that time was considered wonky hundreds of years ago. So anyway, so you've got the rice experiment that you need to do, and you should also do the telepathy experiment. Those 2 things are without a doubt certainly a way to go. Look for signs and everything. Garbage at your feet due to retrocausality can be designed or planted to give you signs on where to go. And I got thunder crackling in the background as I say that. I talk about cloud busting, or watching the clouds with your mind. Wow. I've seen perfectly formed sigils in the clouds, and not just alone. I've shared, I've seen them with other people. And The clouds can communicate with us. Like I said, the garbage at your feet can communicate with you, as can, tarot cards are more civilized. And I Ching, I suggest I Ching for everybody. Invest in an I Ching book and treat it with respect. Don't just get an app on your phone, because you have to put in the respect, and you have to keep it safe, and you have to ask it for your predictions and stuff like that. You have to be nice to the thought forms that surround us. You should ask your toaster for nice toast. Everything is thought forms. And gratitude is part of everything. You should be grateful at every meal. You should thank all the elements and animals or vegetables, whatever. Thank them all. And then if you're thanking a plant or an animal or whatever, thank the plant. And thank the earth that it grew in. And thank the air that it breathed. And thank the sun that shone down on it and the rain that wet it. Because it all comes down to earth, air, fire, water every time. So every meal, you should be thinking of earth, air, fire, water and giving thanks. If you die, remember this. Repeat. Higher self now, thank you, thank you. Higher self now, thank you, thank you. Higher self now, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Gratitude is the most obvious hack to love. Ingratitude was the only sin in ancient Egypt. And it's sort of akin to worry. Ingratitude and worry are, that's sort of deep, I guess. But a drunk driver is not as guilty as the worrying grandmother if a child dies by a drunk driver. It's the worry that makes us starve children in third world countries. We are the gods. You evolved into your highest possible God self yesterday. Now the nature of thoughts and how they approach us. I often use the ketchup bottle example. Ketchup bottles on a shelf in a supermarket, they would all have a similar resonance. They would all be like red and about the same height with the same amount of ketchup, same labels, facing the same direction, right next to each other. The same supermarket. So they would have a similar resonance. But if you took one of the ketchup bottles and you drew a mustache on it and you called it Fred and personified it more away from that consciousness, you introduce that elemental, if we want to start talking in magical terms, other thought forms, we introduce thought forms we introduce them to other ideas. And this is the basis for magic. Because with the higher magic, then you can get elementals that are more beneficial towards you. And for the basic stuff is just expectation, just creating expectations within you and learning that time isn't linear. That's a big one. That's one of the most important spiritual points that you can learn in one lifetime, is that the past can change. That is a really big one, because once you learn that time isn't linear, then consciousness and reality make perfect sense. You can understand that we're sharing a dream if brains are not required for consciousness. So you get to be everything. Everything. You can be rich, poor, different creatures. And in my next video, I plan on doing a second video on health and healing. And obviously, I want to get that out there just because it's health and healing. And I know more than a lot. So, come back and watch my next magic video, my magic lesson number 2, health and healing. That'll be coming after this one. But this is magic lesson number 1. Magic is real, and you have to put in the legwork. Now, you can study the science like John Archibald Wheeler or Richard Feynman or Turok or whatever. Like, learn that science today considers that the past can change in retrocausality. Retrocausality is the only explanation for Einstein's spooky action at a distance, which has been proven to be a thingy. Entangled particles actually prove that determinism has always been a silly notion. So the 2022 Nobel Prize in Physics, I like to say, proved that physics is a silly notion. Because without determinism, you're left with super determinism, which is really weird. And that's not at all how it works. People just pinch themselves and they deem themselves real. And really, you're just living the dream. So energy follows all thoughts. Now, another way to see energy following all thoughts, I've already told you guys how to heal rice. Learn to heal rice, because if you can heal rice, then logically you can heal yourself or those around you with words. Writing is more powerful than spoken words, always, remember. Writing. Write your I amness. I would suggest keeping your affirmations short. And start them with something like a line like, I am guided by universal knowledge and wisdom. Because what could be more important than that? I am guided by universal knowledge and wisdom. I am universal knowledge and wisdom. I am universal knowledge and wisdom. I am universal knowledge and wisdom. Think what you want. All answers are already known. All answers want to be known. The way to get to an answer of anything is to spend time. And we think, we're studying and unraveling it slowly or whatever, but these thought forms are like, some of them want to be known and some of them can be tricky. Dwelling on any topic is the secret to understanding it. So magic is real. I've only been talking for 10 minutes. It doesn't take much to understand magic at the primary level. So this is magic lesson number 1. Magic is real. Learn to heal rice from across the room. Love vs. hate. I love you, pretty rice. I hate you, you ugly rice, disgusting. Ugh. And at the end, make sure you bless the hated rice, because it didn't deserve all that hate, man. Bury it underneath your favorite tree after thanking it profusely for the experiment. But do it. Do what I say. The telepathy experiment. Make a cloud vanish with your mind. Look at a cloud and just start imagining it vanishing. Imagine a giant hairdryer, however you want to do it. Get creative. Imagine a giant hair dryer just blowing that cloud, drying it all up, getting rid of it. Energy follows all thoughts, and there's certain ways that you can learn it more than in others. Now, one skeptic argument was, "Oh, if you can do magic, then why don't you just put it on camera and show everybody or whatever, blah, blah, blah." Now, the nature of the universe is such that a guru can never levitate in a stadium filled with doubt, because the expectation isn't there. You have to grow in expectations towards anything. And the more you dig, the more you see, the more you find. I also have the Franz Barton book on line that I sponsor for free. I shouldn't have to sponsor all this stuff either, so teeth to me if you're able to do so. I'm not asking for anything, but I could probably do better videos if I was sponsored. Plus, I'm not that motivated. I'd rather go play PlayStation than make videos half the time. More than half the time. So I'm going to do this video on magic is real. I'm going to do another video on healing and health using the power of mind. I'll also be talking about grounding / earthing and oh, there was another thing like that. But anyways, I do know things like surround yourself with anions, which are negative ions. Positive ions are unhealthy for us. I'll speak roughly on health, stuff like that. But since you personally have evolved from lifetime to lifetime and grown, then if you have an ailment, say you had a bum knee or a bum leg or something like that, or something was going on and you had aches and pains in your leg, then maybe eating a fish for supper isn't the best thing because the fish never had a leg. So maybe you should eat something that had strong legs, like eat bear meat or something like that, or something like, and while you're blessing your meal and thanking it, thank the thought forms of the bear to help strengthen your leg. That might sound silly, but everything is mental and everything is common sense. If you think of things as literary, like if you want to accomplish a goal, then you could set a quest for yourself on earth. Say, okay, well, I'm going to do this and this and this with the intention of, so if I do all that, then I want the universe to trade me this or whatever. Because then you do, while you climb that mountain and trade off for this intention to match this intention, then you're building up that expectation. You got this sort of deal with the universe going on, and it adds some expectation and power and focus. And repetition is the most obvious hack to focus. But there's more fun ways to add repetition than to simply repeat stuff. Repeating stuff can be boring, but there's pushback too, which will stop you from repeating things. Anybody listening right now could simply write down like a 5-point affirmation and sit there and read it for hours and hours and hours and hours and get anything they desire. But do you think that the universe will let you read for hours and hours and hours? No. No, you try. Try. Because the universe will distract you. It'll have people knocking at your door. It'll be putting new video games in your face. It's called pushback. Writer's block is caused because the writer's mom doesn't expect them to write a best-selling novel and buy her a car. Your barber doesn't expect you to manifest $1 billion and buy him a car and your mom doesn't expect you to buy her a castle. So that's the problem. Your mom's holding you back. All that, not expecting your kid to have a castle, buy her a castle. So you want to know why you're not just manifesting $1 billion? But that's also a silly thing to the Tao middle way, because with every desire is an attached worry. Even a carrot, you want a carrot, then you have to worry about not having the carrot. Everything has an attached worry. That's the catch-22 of our universe. But we're here, so we gotta deal with the universe, and it helps if we do it in an educated way. And I am telling you how to understand the all. I am telling you how to understand magic from the ground up. And I'm not using a lot of hard terms. I could talk about thoughts. All thoughts, every word in this sentence is conscious and has a physical body that we could call an elemental. And where they operate, just like the woman who moved a car when you were manifesting a parking space, or just like the drunk driver that ran over the worrying grandmother's grandkids, the free will they perceive, but they don't see. They don't. It's just a play, but they don't see it. They think everything's logical. You can have a dream at night where you can count to 10, you can be 1, 3, 4, 7, 10. And the missing numbers wouldn't even occur to you that they're not there. Because thought forms are themselves separate. And so logic and reasoning can be distorted in some views of reality. This earth air is a strong group creation. And it created from the ground up. Consciousness grew from water and fire. Water is emotion. Fire is light. So in the beginning, there was imagine a flashing light. Fire. Well, then there was something that cared enough, emotion, that cared enough to notice. Because if there's a flashing light, and then nothing notices it because it doesn't care or whatever, it's just it doesn't have memory, it doesn't care, then they would never form a universe or time. But because this emotion cared enough to notice time, then time must have been formed at that moment, or the moment of the caring. So I would say water was first. So the water and fire created the first everything. And a dot, if you consider time, everything is simultaneous. But if you want to put a beginning on the universe, then everything had to be created at the smallest level before it could get to the biggest level. Like I said, you had to be a fish before you could learn how to be bipedal. You're a changeling immortal. You're gonna be an alligator mom, with alligator type kids, not alligator, but I mean a human type alligator. You'll be some creature on Star Trek, or some alien on Star Wars with an alligator beak or whatever, and you'll be sending your kids off to alligator university or whatever on some planet in some remote distant part of the universe. Because we live so many lifetimes, and we're just gonna do all that stuff just to change it up from lifetime to lifetime. So we're not even stuck being humans and stuff like that. We're not just gonna be here and there and everywhere. We're gonna be part of forever. 1,000,000,001 years, you could live the lifetime of a quadrillion trees and still be a mere forgotten flash to what forever truly means. Like a lifetime of a quadrillion trees is nothing compared to forever. Like, it's forever is a long time. So, we personify, and everything that you can imagine is probable in an imaginary universe. Probable. What kind of cheap butt universe would we be living in if we didn't have aliens and things like that? So aliens have to exist. Logically. And it's up to you to get past lesson 1. So if you like what I teach, then this is magic lesson 1. I do intend on putting up a magic lesson 2 on health and healing. And maybe I won't ramble as much, but I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Magic is real. Science is the foolish religion if we share a common dream. If you think about that, you can't just pinch yourselves and deem yourselves actual. Self-pinching and the fact that our parents told us we're real is the only evidence that that is true. We exist as we do in a nocturnal dream. It would be silly to think that 2 ways evolved of experiencing reality in the same way. Like, it's illogical to think that you can have a dream at night where you can make dream toast, but also you can feel the exact same thing when you're making toast in your kitchen. But yet, the making toast in your kitchen is supposed to be real, and the feeling of the exact same feeling in a nocturnal dream that you're making toast, somehow that's just an illusion or something. They say, oh, that's just your brain making noise farts or whatever. Oh my gosh. Okay, now manifesting makes us smarter than all those other academics. So anybody that watches this video this far, I imagine they have that sort of knowledge. And if they don't, then they do now. Because I'm an above average teacher of magic. Including the higher stuff. Blessings, blessed be, so mote it be. I'm Wayne Hilborn. This is magic lesson number 1. Magic is real.
And that's a wrap, folks. I hope I broadened your horizons today. As a modern Canadian magician, I've got a knack for tuning into the universe and understanding the intricacies of reality. From healing to life coaching and fitness instruction, I'm your go-to guy for a holistic approach to well-being. If today's topic struck a chord with you, send some positive vibes out in the universe. And while I don't ask for personal donations, your generosity could help elevate the quality of my future content and publications. Whether through Patreon, direct support, or local collaborations, your contributions are greatly appreciated. Remember, folks, it's all about that water deficit. Dry fasting holds the key to shedding those pesky pounds, and I'm here to debunk the myth that exercise is the be-all and end-all for our weight loss. Forget about calorie counting. It's all about tapping into that 7% water in our fat cells and saying goodbye to them forever. And let's not forget the other nugget of wisdom I bring to the table. The nature of memory is a series of simultaneous events. No brain required to store those precious moments, folks. You'll be conscious forever. If you're hungry for more of what I have to offer, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for future updates. Wishing blessings upon you all, and remember, in a universe governed by the mind, worry is the only true evil. Stay positive, stay blessed, and keep spreading the love.